This is the Council on Aging meeting on Wednesday. Wednesday.
Janet.
Oh,
Janet. Sorry.
This Council on Aging meeting on Wednesday, March 22nd, 2023. I'd like to welcome everybody to the board. And we'll start with reviewing the minutes of the February 22nd meeting. Does everybody have those? Okay.
Yes, I'm picking up on that too. It just says Wednesday the
Wednesday,
22nd, doesn't say what month we're in.
That's where I stumbling. So when you're all ready, I'll take a motion for the minutes.
Make a motion, but I wasn't here.
So you abstain from.
Do we have to second?
You have to just
Make the
make
motion.
the first motion.
Make a motion to accept the minutes as written.
We have a motion on the floor.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Oh, I do have to add, and I apologize, Pat Blake is not here today and he is an excused absence. Next on the agenda is the report of the bills.
So under our regular COA budget, we paid the phone bill, a couple of miscellaneous office supplies. Under the grant, we ordered labels and tabs for the newsletter, paid for our exercise program, and the Cultural Council grant paid for our entertainment for the St. Patrick's Day party in March.
It looked like a lot of fun, I did see that
Yes.
on cable.
We had to make
Sorry,
a little,
couldn't make it.
a little switcheroo with the entertainment because of that snowstorm that we got. And so the Irish band wasn't available to come back, but we will have them another time. But Stephen George filled in and he was
Very.
perfectly perfect.
Yeah.
Everybody loves him. He's very well
Yeah.
received. There was a lot of dancing,
You
a lot of
guys
fun.
danced?
Yeah, it was a good,
Good
it was a
Yo.
good time. The staff,
Somebody holding both hands.
she was twisting like nobody's business. And the staff cooked all the food for 2 days. So the food was apparently very good.
Bless you.
We didn't get any complaints.
Good, good. All right, so we have for a new board member.
Yeah, so Kent resigned, so we're looking for a new board member that can't be a senior, so that we can even out the board. So if there's anybody who would like to become a board member who is not a senior and has an hour a few times a year, or 7 times a year maybe, then we would welcome.
Anybody knows anybody? I'd like to thank Kent for his time on the Council on Aging.
Yes, he was a good resource for us to have.
He was, so he'll be missed.
Yes.
Next was the coffee hour. I'm not trying to say the name.
So Dr. Scaglia, I talked to him too, but yeah. He's a retired doctor who lives in town, and he wanted to come into the senior center and have a coffee hour. Anybody who wants to meet privately to talk about some concerns they have, or just do a focal group of aging and health, different questions that people might have, and that everybody can kind of, you know, have a coffee hour and learn about different things. So I thought that was very nice that he offered his time.
Yeah.
And so he is going to be starting next month.
Who's this,
He's going to be starting April 26th.
for what?
He's a retired doctor, so he's going to come in and just do a coffee hour and talk to seniors about their
Oh.
concerns on aging or anything, you have any kind of medical concern or otherwise.
Oh,
Yeah, so I think
Could
it'd
you
be really
spell
nice.
his last name, please?
It's SGALIA.
SGALIA.
Yes. We're also going to start, during the summertime, we're going to start binge watch Thursdays. We realize a lot of the seniors don't have Wi-Fi, a lot of them don't have the Amazon, they don't have Netflix, Hulu, Disney. We have all of those channels, and there's a lot of different things that people might want to binge watch. Of course, we're going to keep it G-rated, or PG, because some of the shows can be a little risque. And, but we have some nice shows. PG Senior Center, yeah. We figured that we'd do that, we'd offer the TV in the afternoon, we don't have anything on Thursday afternoons, so from like 1 to 3, if anybody wants to come in during the summer with some air conditioning and binge watch a show that everybody's been talking about or that you've heard about, we're gonna do that.
That'll be fun.
Yeah,
That's
we
good.
figured something outside the box, we have that nice
Yeah.
TV, and, I know that when my mother comes to visit me, she's like, what do you have for a show? And she likes to be able to binge watch something on Netflix or Amazon, so, yeah,
All right, program attendance.
it's been insane. So we're using the main room now for everything. The exercise class, the osteo, or balance and strength, got really, really big. So we changed it to out here,
Nice.
because you can't have more
Right.
than 8 or 9 people, now you're tripping over each other. And that's worked out well. We had to change the Monday time to noontime, because Pam has her painting class, and Pam's changed it to make it earlier so that we can accommodate the balance and strength class,
Okay.
which has become
Thank you
very
for doing that.
successful. We've had a lot of new membership in that class as well as the others. Yoga class is doing well, Zumba class is doing well, chair yoga. So, but this room is being moved literally like every hour and a half, all day long, every day.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I
Um,
can imagine.
you know, if the biggest problem we have is running out of space, then that's a good thing.
That is,
Yeah.
correct, that
So
is.
it's nice to see all the new people that are coming in. I think Jen counted that we had 32 new people since January joined.
Wow,
Yep.
that's awesome.
And that's every group, that's card group, the balance and strength group, and Pam's painting class is insane.
Mahjong, we almost have 3 tables.
Yes, yeah,
Wow.
Mahjong's probably gonna be moving out here too.
Yeah.
So Mahjong is a tile game that they play, and it's become very, very popular. It took a while to get off the ground, and it had just started right before we closed for COVID, and then it took a little bit to get it back, but now, there's quite a
I've
bit.
been hearing a lot about that all over the place on
Yeah.
social media.
Yeah,
and
Mahjong and
different
pickleball, the
friends.
newest.
Pickleball.
You have a lot of
Yeah,
people.
yeah, Mahjong and pickleball, those are the two newest
And
things.
one
So,
time,
all over the
so
place,
was
that
put out a
pickleball. I
petition
know.
because pickleball was making too much noise.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Over in Wellesley or.
Yes. Yeah. So, so it's going really well. So all of our programs have been very well attended, and very happy about that. We're gonna have to start, if it gets any busier, we do welcome anybody from anywhere, and we wanna be welcoming to anybody anywhere, but I have to serve Douglas first. So we had 50 people signed up for our St. Patrick's Day party. If I had more than 50, I would have to pick and choose for Douglas residents first. We're not there yet, but I would assume probably within the next 6 months or a year, we might be at that place where if my exercise classes are so full, other senior centers are charging for exercise, we're not. I'm using the grant funds, and I have no intention of ever charging for an exercise program. It's hard enough for seniors to feed themselves and pay for oil. I'm not gonna start charging them for their socialization, their physical well-being, and their mental health. It's not, we have the grant money to do it. Gloria is a great teacher, she gives us a good price. So,
Good.
but it's gonna have to be open to Douglas residents, of course, first.
Makes sense.
And not only that, they take handicap places for parking.
Well, it's not only
Out of town too,
It's not only the out-of-town people.
huh?
It's not only the out-of-town people. It's whoever gets to those 2
Oh,
spots first.
yeah, I know, but
You know, and I've tried to say that I can't decide who's handicapped or not, that's not my job to do that. If you have a placard, then you can have that spot. But if you know that you're on a day where somebody else is a little bit worse off, maybe don't park in that spot. I have,
That's what I do.
yep, if you know that
Because I
somebody.
know Janet needs it, I
Yeah.
know Gracie needs it.
Yeah.
And, it's not as big an issue for me to walk across, and I know Sheila does the same thing.
We used to have, I think we used to have 4, and then when they reconfigured that post office, they took
Yeah.
away those 2 spots. So we only have the 2.
I know.
And they don't really want us parking over here, but I understand that some people can't walk from that back parking lot. So
Yeah.
the parking lot is gonna be done at some point, late spring, early summer. And when it is, I'm hoping that we can reconfigure it somehow. And it's gonna be a smoother surface, which is gonna be nice too.
Which will
Yeah.
To
make it
be able
easier.
to
Yeah,
increase
that's
the
the hard
handicap
part.
parking spots, because it is an issue.
Yeah.
I get a lot of complaints about that.
Yeah.
You know,
Is
and
it
we have people
gonna
coming
repave?
to a party an hour and a half before they can get the spot.
They're gonna repave out here?
Oh, yeah, that was on Capitol for last year. Yep, yep, and it's nice because when it rains and there's a pothole, you can't see it. I can't tell you how many times I've almost clipped an ankle in one of those. They do a great job at the highway department coming down and making sure that everything's patched up continuously, but it really doesn't matter because frost heaves and plowing and all of that
That's
just
what's bad.
takes
the
it away.
frosty.
So,
Yeah.
yes, the parking lot will be done, and Adam, I,
Because even with, when Janet has to park on way on the other side, with her
Kane,
cane, it can
Yeah.
get stuck.
of course.
It's very hard,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep, so we'll be having that done shortly, so that's one more great improvement. And Adam's really great about keeping up with our ramp and making sure that the cement is, he has those guys here every other year, making sure that it's smooth and it's not pitted, so. That's good. Yeah.
Upcoming events.
Lots of stuff, so much stuff. We have a lot of craft people that love to do crafts, so our free craft is going to be Easter egg craft. We're gonna do Easter eggs with yarn and balloons.
Yeah.
Then you pop them and you
Yeah.
have a little egg, that's gonna be fun. We have a lot of stuff going on in April. We're gonna be doing the memory detecting with Steve. He goes and he finds artifacts with his metal detector and he shares them with people and explains different things about them and what they mean and where he found them in different parts of places. We're gonna serve a turkey dinner with that. We're gonna be movie day is on the 12th. We're gonna do The Ultimate Life, which is a fantastic, really uplifting, true story movie, really good movie. We're having the high school breakfast on April 13th at 9 o'clock. And we are gonna do a pizza and Pictionary day. And Unibank is gonna sponsor the pizza for free, so that should be fun. And then we're gonna be starting our new program on the 26th with the doctor and his coffee hours. So,
Wow.
and we have lots of,
Lots
How do
coming
you
up.
pronounce his name?
Scalia? Saglia, I'm not really sure if the G is silent or not, it's SG.
S-G.
I've heard that name.
What's the rest of it? S-G?
A-L-I-A.
Scalia. Scalia. Scalia.
I would say it's Scalia. I think the G is probably like, sounds like a C or a
Yeah.
K,
I
but I'm
think
not
that
really
could
sure.
be the first part, the first coffee hour he does, he should have everybody try and pronounce
Yes,
his name.
yeah.
Everybody
You're gonna
gets
tell
it
him we
right.
had
They win a prize.
Half my COA meeting was trying to decide what your actual name was.
We can call him by his first name.
We just call him Doc. Coffee with the Doc, that's it. But
I
yeah,
went to the doctor, the new doctor where Dr. Miller was, and she is very, very good.
yeah, she's lovely. She
Very
came in,
thorough.
yes.
Yeah,
Yep. And she's a
very
family
thorough.
practitioner, so it's very nice that she was
Yeah.
able to do that. Yeah.
She had me in there for an hour and a half for the first visit.
Oh, yeah,
She asks you everything, everything.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, she was very nice. She came
yeah,
down
I
and
liked
introduced
her.
herself.
Yeah.
Good, glad that you had a good
Yeah.
experience.
All right, Sunshine Club News.
Okay, well, the gardening event on March 10th went over very well. I thought we had a good turnout, 20-some odd people, and Lynette from Dudley, who's a professional gardener, came in, and a nice, easygoing presentation, answered questions all throughout, and a lot of helpful hints. The line dancing and barbecue this Friday, we've got a huge turnout. We got 35 people signed up. And so we cut it off so we could have room. And so that should be good. The nice thing about this one, we're getting different seniors from the community coming. Some who have said they've never even been in here. So it's a nice exposure to what we're doing down here and some new faces. And so that should be fun. May 12th, we're going to have an evening event. It's the first one. It's going to be like a spring fling idea. And pickleball is going well. We met, the Douglas Pickleball Management Team met with the Rec Commission last week and went over some plans to paint lines up there on the basketball court. We've got the quotes and everything, and they gave us their approval to proceed with it, so we go to the Selectmen's meeting on April 4th to get permission from them to go ahead and proceed with that. And we met with John Furno yesterday up at the outdoor basketball court about cleanup there, because we also want to paint lines on that court for outdoor use in the nice weather. And so we'll see how that goes. And the First Federal Webster Credit Union donated $350 toward our cause from the fundraiser they did. So, so thanks to them, we have a little more cash on hand. So, anything you want to say about pickleball update? Is that pretty much?
I don't know, do you have any questions? We've had to cut the numbers off. We have a lot of people who want to play, and the only way they can is if they go online and they sign up and put their name down and then get put on a waiting list. And it's Douglas residents come first.
I know one of the girls who volunteers at the food pantry. She loves it. She, you know, Linda Boucher.
Yeah.
Yeah, she loves it. She said it's so much fun.
Well, the way we are doing it, we're keeping it strictly amateur.
Yeah.
We've got people out there of all different physical abilities. We have some people who have some serious handicaps, and yet they're out there and doing what they can do. You know, maybe they can't bend over and pick up the ball,
Yeah.
and we can help with that. But they're doing what they can do, and they're moving around, and they're really enjoying the opportunity to do
Oh,
it.
yeah, Linda said it's so much fun.
So,
She has a good time.
and they're going to be expanding their hours. They want there's been several requests for programs, for training, for learning.
Yeah, skills, you know, like just not,
They don't want to go in and just start playing, they want
like
to
lesson,
practice.
lesson hour.
Right.
And you need room, you need space. And the only way we can do it is to ask the rec commission for another day when we
Yeah.
can do it, just to go in and learn some skills. And the volunteers that we were able to get they play on a very high plane. They come in here and they're just here to help. They don't try to show off, they just want, anybody new who comes in the door, they take them aside and play a game with them on a very slow level. And
Working well.
yeah, and if you want to get involved in a real fast, hard game, then you have to go somewhere else. That's,
And that's available all over,
yeah.
outside.
Competition is really real.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, it is real.
Can I ask a question on some of the things you mentioned?
Wait a minute,
before?
can Sunshine Club finish?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Hold your question, don't
Yeah,
listen.
you're next. You're next on the agenda. And, well, the only other thing I want to mention, we have posted some Foxy trips up here because some people we think might want day trips, but they don't want to go by themselves. So we're letting people know some of the day trips that are available and signups. We have some people interested in one. We're on a waiting list on the bus for seats for that, but there are a couple up there, so I just want you to be aware of that. That's what we're trying to promote, rather than try to strike up our own day trips. Just go with Foxy, who offers so many.
Right, why reinvent it, it's already there.
That's right,
Yeah.
exactly. So, and then we don't have anything planned for April because you have such a full schedule here that don't try to squeeze everything in at once. So we'll look at some things later in the summer, like a lighthouse cruise in the Narragansett for an afternoon with lunch or something we're talking about. So that's where we are.
I've got a couple questions. For pickleball, do you guys charge for that? Is it,
We have a club. We organize the Douglas Pickleball Club.
oh,
Residents pay $10 for the year, and non-residents $20. And that's the only money we're generating, is that. Mhm.
okay. And what about, when you do the events here, you charge for those?
Some of the events we charge for. Excuse me, the gardening event,
If
no.
there's a meal involved.
If there's a meal, like the barbecue lunch is gonna be $5. It's probably gonna cost more like $10 per person, but we're gonna make up the difference.
Okay.
It's being catered, we're not cooking that,
Yeah,
picking that up.
yeah. I'm just asking, I just happened to talk to somebody in Northbridge, and they gave me a flyer, and I'm just curious to see how it all worked with the Sunshine Club working with the Adult Social Center.
Yeah.
They did very well. The Northbridge, what the Friends Group are they called, I think they said, which I imagine is the same as the
Same
Sunshine.
idea.
They ended up helping out their senior center with $33,000.
Well,
Right, so that's why I'm asking as far as those questions goes, is, as far as helping out the Adult Social Center. So,
we only charge minimal, like, we did the campaign to put the air conditioning in here a couple of
Yeah.
years ago by reaching out to the community businesses and donations, and we raised money for that. But, we don't have that kind of money.
No,
But, you know,
just wanted to ask the questions.
Yeah.
Especially with pickleball now, I didn't
Yeah.
know if that was part of, the Sunshine Club.
we help fund them to get started with money for equipment. And now the fundraiser that the bank did for us will help. And if pickleball needs more help, we're here to help, because the Sunshine Club's purpose is not just the center here, but it's the senior community at large in Douglas. Whatever we can do to help promote anything there, which would include pickleball. So could we potentially help them if they need some money for some of these line paintings? Of course, we will.
All right, so I must misunderstand the Sunshine Club then, because I thought I had read, and correct me if I'm wrong, in the MCOA guidelines, what the Friends Group would be for, the top priority would be their senior center.
The
is-
senior population and community.
Do you know?
In our mission statement.
I'm not sure how the wording is for the
Yeah.
MCOA. I know that the Friends Groups and the Sunshine Clubs, because they're using the senior center as their fundraising, I don't want to say it wrong. You're using our name to be able to promote, and the mission is supposed to be to give back to the seniors in the community and to the center.
Exactly.
Like we had talked about the painting the van or
Right.
putting lines on the van and
Oh,
things like that.
that'd be a great thing to do. Yeah.
Yeah, in our mission statement, it does say, we're here to support the senior community and the center by supplying materials that they can't afford, equipment, programs, events. So it's a more wide open effort, but most of it is centered here.
Okay.
Yep.
But you don't use the senior center to raise money, do you?
It does, no, so you're using your,
The facility.
no. I don't want to word it wrong. So you're a fundraising group that is fundraising off of us, right? So the Adult Social Center is who the Sunshine Club is affiliated with.
Right.
So when somebody gives a donation to a Sunshine Club, like I know that I think Milford, Mendon, some of the Friends Groups are bigger. They're 501c3s. They've been in business for a lot of years. The previous Sunshine Club we had a ton of money.
Yeah.
And they were a 501c3. So
Are you guys, no, okay.
So, that being said, in Northbridge, they have a ton of money. So they did give a lot of money away. I did see that.
Yeah.
Christine, tell me, do you know how they raise this money?
They didn't say, they were just gradually talking about it. I can give you the flyer that they have given me, what they raised.
Were they raising it for a capital program?
No, I will show you the different things they were raising it for.
So just like you raise money for the air conditioning, they raise money for the van, they do all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, the original Friends Club here, they did raise money, they did something with the outside here, or they were supposed to, but never
So
materialized.
the previous Sunshine Club was raising money for years for the ramp.
The ramp.
And from what I saw from just a couple of notes that we found in the archives in the attic, when they defunct, they gave all of their money to CSM Elderbus, which was not allowed,
Yeah.
because whatever you raise is was supposed to be appropriated for the center, not for an outside entity. So there was a lot of hubbub about that back in the day.
Yeah, I knew there was.
Nothing was done about it. They allowed seniors to ride the Elder Bus for 1 year for free, but they gave them like, somewhere between like $8,000 and $12,000.
Yeah, I thought it was about.
Yeah, okay. And CSM Elder Bus, we didn't have that much ridership, and it's $3 a ride. So, and I was on the board at the time, I was in some of the meetings, but they would not give the money back. And the Sunshine Club actually had no right to give it away to another entity other than the center.
Well, I thought they were supposed to use it for a canopy over the
Yeah,
door.
they-
And they had raised for years and years and years. They had a lot of discourse with the previous administration, and then the Sunshine Club themselves had a lot of falling out.
They had
So,
extreme issues.
yeah, so that's what it
What's the
is.
difference between that group and this group?
This group, so they had defunct, that was it. So Pam and Mary and a couple other people back, what, a decade ago?
It was 2013.
Okay, yeah, that's when I took over the directorship. So, reached out and they started there with their own little $5 membership or whatever you did to raise your money for your first meal and then go from there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if I know that they're
Started
gonna,
from scratch.
right, they started from scratch.
We started from scratch, yeah, there was nothing.
Yep.
Stop.
They charge to belong to their Sunshine Club.
First year, yes.
Just the first year?
I think, yeah. Our
So-
first dinner was a spaghetti dinner, so we needed some money to buy
Right,
spaghetti.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
like, I know Milford, I think it's Milford, it's the Milford or Bellingham does like a huge, like, yard sale. Some of them, like during Oktoberfest, if you wanted to set up tables and rent a table for vendors to come in and do their stuff, they do things like that. That's probably why they have
But not being a 501.
C3, you can only keep so
We
much
can only
money.
keep so much money, we have to spend some money now to stay within the guidelines, so.
Yeah.
But, yeah, we don't, are limited to.
Yeah, okay. I was just curious,
Yeah.
like I said,
Yeah.
the conversation started with pickleball.
Yeah,
So that's
right.
how, it's very popular now, it's very popular, so.
Yeah.
So I commend you guys for starting that program up and giving that to the seniors, the opportunity to go there.
Yeah, it is nice,
Yeah.
because we're seeing new people involved with things,
Yeah,
and get them aware of what's going on down here.
yeah.
And
It's
they
always a-
are coming in.
Yeah, they
Yeah, it's
are.
always a full house, because I know
Well-
the parking lot's always full
Oh,
on
yeah.
Mondays and Wednesdays.
We're the
We
only
have to get there
place,
early.
we're the only place that I know of, if you want to come see what it's about and try it.
Yeah,
Sunshine Club bought a number of paddles for everybody. You go to any of the other towns, if you don't have your own equipment, and where are you gonna learn? They must learn someplace, and these paddles cost $100 a piece.
Wow.
Or more.
We just bought a set for my daughter for her birthday, and, because it's like the newest thing with the younger people too,
Yeah.
and I couldn't believe what it cost.
Yeah.
So I'm glad, and you guys had some donated to you too, right?
Right.
So that's good, because you have your own equipment and you're teaching people.
Yeah.
And everybody, I haven't heard anything other than it's just been a fun experience.
Oh, me too.
You see the people walking out of that town hall, if you can find a parking spot,
Yeah.
and they are laughing coming out of the
Oh,
ramp, and it's very
Yeah.
light, no,
It is.
not competitive.
No, no,
Just fun.
totally recreational.
We're really focusing our attention on that.
Yes.
If you want a serious game, and some of these
Go
people who are
someplace else.
pros
Someplace
that come
else.
from other
Yeah.
places, sometimes
You have to.
when we're all done, there's a court open, go have your fun.
Yeah.
But otherwise, you gotta go someplace else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They even do it at the transplant games now. That's one of their permanent, permanent competitions.
Gotta get up there and practice.
Yeah. I'll stick with cornhole, thank you very much. Cornhole and trivia, those are my, hey, I have medals.
that's awesome.
At the beginning, Patrice, I couldn't hear what you were saying. Is Kent no longer available?
Yep, so Kent resigned from the board, so we do have a space open for somebody who is a non-senior.
Okay. I didn't know if he got to be too old and,
Oh, geez,
Okay.
I better leave.
I'm not, I think he felt like he couldn't give the commitment that he needed to give because he's just so busy with everything that's going on, so.
and if you get a non-senior because they're a non-senior, what happens when they become a senior?
Question.
That is a good
Get
question.
kicked off?
We've always had younger people, right, so You got a lot of years.
What's the
I
senior?
don't
to retire.
I have, yeah, and Christine has a lot of
What are they
years.
considering a senior these days?
65.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah, you got some time. You got some time.
All
You,
right, so
you will still be on the board when I
65?
retire. How about that?
Me
That
too.
was my other
So what's
question.
the age cutoff for this person?
65,
65.
correct.
Okay.
65.
But
as
we
a
will have to
senior.
figure out what happens if you have a board member that starts at 59 and ends up at 65.
Right.
We'll have to figure that out.
Yeah.
I don't know if
See
it's in
how
our
we can
bylaws somewhere, I'll
increase
look.
the
Yeah, we're gonna see if we can
number or-
increase the, because we have to have a board that's made up of diverse age groups, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
We should have it.
we do. I'm not gonna say anything about who's the youngest or the oldest, Jen.
We've been here for 21, so.
Jim, did you have some other questions?
No, I think, I just, it's, another thing in the minutes was about, you setting aside some of the money that you got for the Mardi Gras party. When is that?
So, we were going to have a Mardi Gras party and I could not have the mariachi band. They were already booked. So I had, when you write the cultural council grant, you have to write it as in what you're going to use it for. So we were bringing the outside world and outside country culture into the town of Douglas. That's why I wrote the grant. So it was supposed to be $400 for this one, $400 for this one. I'll end up having a little bit of extra money in my cultural council
Yeah.
grant, which is okay because we had to cancel the Irish band because of snow. And the Mardi Gras party. So therefore, our next event will have something and I will use the funding. All I have to do is use the funding by next February.
I was just wondering if I missed something. You know, if I missed this party.
No,
Because
you did not miss a Mardi Gras party. It's not even, I think it's
we're in the middle
Mardi
of
Gras
Lent
May.
and the Mardi Gras is day before. So,
That's right.
So I would
What
have,
do
I
they
think it was,
call
I would have
It's
extra money.
what?
Fat Tuesday.
Marty Tuesday or something like
Fat
that?
Tuesday.
Fat Tuesday. Oh, gee,
because you start fasting after that.
yeah. Yeah, that's,
All right, so, thank you for sharing the Sunshine Club news.
Look at that.
Do we have any other business that maybe we'd like to talk about?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
How come our light bills keep going up even though we're on the program? I'm paying almost $70 now.
Okay, so I did see last night, so what happens is, right now the town is in the middle of a negotiation. I heard the town administrator talking about it. So the new rates haven't come out yet for the aggregation.
Oh,
So I think we will have that in the next, I don't want to quote, but I thought it was sometime this spring. They're doing the finalization. They reached out to like 10 different companies to get the best price.
Yeah.
So as soon as that happens, you'll be the first one made aware of it. Anybody who's in, we will do another
mine actually
aggregation.
went down,
mine.
my light bill. It actually went down like about, I think it was almost $10.
Mine went up.
And I don't know why, I mean, I haven't changed anything I'm doing.
I used less electricity last month than I did last year, and my bill was like $60 more. I'm like, okay, how does this make any sense? I'm just walking around shutting stuff off all the time.
It was
But yeah, I
on
will
the
let you know.
news last night. You didn't catch that? It was
What?
on the news.
What?
The negotiations they did with Mass Electric.
National
starting
Grid?
next
National
month,
Grid.
National Grid.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
it starting next month? A 40% reduction.
Yeah.
in the rate.
Oh, yeah,
Because
because
it was
now
a
they got
warm-
competition,
it was a warm winter.
Jim,
Right.
with this
Yeah.
company
Yeah.
that we all
As
signed up
soon as,
with.
Oh.
as soon as we get the information, I will let you know. And I know that the town administrator is gonna let us know because he was actually here when the aggregation came down. So
Too
he's
bad
right
we
on that.
can't
He
get
will say, "We made
competition
our
for
thing. This is gonna
charter."
be it. Let your seniors know."
Yeah,
I'm sure he will.
Well, I don't,
okay.
they were just talking about National Grid was gonna reduce their rates. I don't know how it would affect anybody else, but they said it was gonna be a 40% starting.
And like I told Janet, as soon as
May
I know,
1st.
the town administrator will let me know. As soon as I know, I will make sure that every senior is in the aggregation. If you're already in it, and you're already in it, I think it just you stay in it. It's just gonna be a different person that's supplying it on the top of your bill.
Yeah.
But you'll still stay in the best rate because you're already signed up for it. But I will let you know as soon as I hear.
I think it took 2 months from the time we signed up here
Yeah,
And I kept checking my bill and it kept saying National Grid and I'm like, I
But now
want to
you're-
get rid of them.
Now you're in, you'll never have
But
to.
now I'm in.
And the town will always make sure that whatever we're paying is gonna be cheaper than what their supplier is always gonna be cheaper. So now that you're in it, you stay where you're at.
Too bad we don't have competition for charter.
Oh, God. I know, trust me, it's the same way where I live.
It's
I don't have-
ridiculous.
I don't have any, I have one Wi-Fi supplier and one cable supplier where I live. So there's nothing I can do, I'm just handcuffed to these.
That's, yeah.
Yes.
And I mean, I stopped the TV, I have a Roku, and I just have Wi-Fi, and I have my house phone. And it's $100 and something.
I'm paying all
So I
that.
think they just keep raising the price.
You can call sometimes and you can tell them that you're a senior, they do have different
They
discounts
do.
if you're a worthy customer.
I will, they do have this
Jen
discount
tried.
if there's a senior in your
Jen
household,
tried
you
to
qualify
call,
for a
and they
reduction
said
in your
no.
internet.
They wouldn't lower mine.
Really?
Yes,
Yes,
Over
because I
Yes.
do have that.
And that's with charter.
That's a charter, yep.
Yeah.
If you are a senior, that was a federal thing that came out when the pandemic happened,
Yeah.
and then a lot of the places just kept it, so you can get a discount.
Yep, I think it's $30.
I'll
for
have
the-
to check
if you
on
have the
that.
internet, yeah.
Because
Call
I
them.
do get a discount rate on my electric bill.
Thanks, Mom.
You know, it says at the bottom, low income
Right.
on my electric bill.
Yep.
And that carried
But definitely
over.
call over to Charter and tell them that you're a senior and you'd like because a lot of seniors don't have Wi-Fi, right?
Yeah.
So-
And see, I have to have the
Of
Wi-Fi
course.
for my Roku.
Yes,
Yeah.
Yep,
and your computer and anything.
And my
else.
computer, right.
yeah, so definitely
And they
call.
told me if I disconnected the house phone, they would have to raise the price of my
Correct.
Wi-Fi.
That's why we still have a house phone and
Yeah.
everybody makes fun of us.
Yeah, oh, we still do.
do.
Yeah,
do.
we do. Yeah.
Originally, we kept it for 911, but since I don't need that anymore.
I don't have a dial tone on my phone, but it connects to my security system, so.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just can't be bothered letting everybody know to change. Don't call this number anymore, I just can't be bothered
I
doing
know.
that. So much easier just to keep the landline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I don't always check my cell phone. I, most of the time, don't know where it is.
Yep, the van. Okay. So I had, I reached out to Graffiti Works because I knew that she did the van in Upton. I'm gonna have to talk to the town administrator, so I'm not really sure how it works. When we buy things here, he's our procurement officer. So I have to have 3 or more quotes and it has to go through a whole prevailing wage kind of scale thing, and there's a lot of different stuff that gets involved in it. If the Sunshine Club would be paying for the lettering or the vinyl lettering on the van, Sue said that Upton's has a ton of lettering, and it was approximately $600. Of course, we're tax-free, so I don't know if that's gonna count for you guys. I don't know how it works if the Sunshine Club does it on their own, so I'm gonna have to get that clarification. But I thought that was a pretty decent price.
Yeah.
We are having a contest to name the van. It's gonna be going out in our newsletter, on the front. I put that on the front. We do have a suggestion box over there. There's a couple of suggestions going in it. Even the finance committee, I met with FinCom last night, and they were having some fun with what the bus should be called. So we want to make it light and airy. We want to make it a really celebratory thing because it's a really big moment for us.
Yes.
Really big.
Really.
And
It's
right
really-
now, we have like 35 or 40 people on a waiting list just to ride it. So it will not be going anywhere that other bus goes, because we're not gonna reinvent the wheel and have people going to Worcester when I have people that really need to go to Milford.
Yes.
So it'll go to Milford for doc's appointments, in Boston if we needed to
Yes.
go to Boston or the Veterans Hospital, one of
That's
those.
big.
Yes.
That is big.
So,
Yeah.
and then, plan some shopping trips around town. Maybe there's gonna be a big Y coming into Uxbridge. Does anybody know this? I found this out last night. Yeah, very exciting. Somewhere near
Where the
where the Cocking
Kettle is.
Kettle, where the Cocking Kettle, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
What's
really?
going in
That'll
there?
be actually
Big
added
wide
onto our,
supermarket.
Is there going to be a
Really?
charge for the bus?
there will be a charge for the bus. We haven't really gotten that far as to how much. It's gonna be like more of a suggested donation. And some of another thing, like the Friends group, some of the Friends groups will say, we're gonna pay $1 towards every ride. That's, the Sunshine Club used to do that. So if the ride is $3 and the Sunshine Club pays $1 with a punch pass or something, then it would be like $2. Or if you're coming to the senior center for lunch, it would be like maybe $1. If you're going to Milford, it might be $3. So we haven't worked out the price yet, but it will be very affordable. And if somebody could not afford to ride the bus, and we know that they truly cannot afford to ride the bus, then they will not be charged for the bus.
Okay. I just remember with
It's
the-
not
the
trying to make a
previous-
profit.
Right.
It's just trying to maintain you.
My reason for asking is I'm remembering the shared bus we had.
Correct.
And that was free, and it became an issue because there was one person who was taking it for a medical appointment that lasted hours long, and it
Yes.
was far away, so then the bus could not be used
Anywhere else.
for 2 or 3 days a week.
And that was the Sutton Friends Group and the Sunshine Club were paying for the ridership on that.
Right, okay.
So, and it, it worked out really well that way. So, but I just know we're really looking forward to it, and hopefully we're gonna be having a ribbon cutting ceremony sometime after the first of the year.
Works for me. I might actually be able to make one of
Yes.
those appointments in Dover.
Hello to Sandy.
So the van will come in white. Yeah, standard color, it will come in white. Somebody asked last night, are we gonna have the Douglas Tiger theme, because that's what the school does? I said, nah, the seniors will probably have their own little thing.
Yeah,
Flowers and rainbows or whatever it is.
yeah.
Cookies, yeah. So, that was good. So, either way, we will sit and chit chat about it and, figure out colors and other things. So there'll be a lot of time for being to do suggestions. I would like to see this van be loud and proud. I don't want to see it be gray and navy blue like everybody else.
Right,
Or
right.
just a green stripe. Let's be loud and proud and be excited about it.
Yeah.
And know that, this bus is
Have a
coming to get you.
logo on it, have a
And-
logo on it.
And the best part is too, like I was saying last night, our staff is handpicked here, right? So everybody, Christine knows the interview process you have to go through to get a job here. We interview person after person after person and multiple times because we want to make sure they're a good fit, right? For what our philosophy is. When you're here, you're family, and we want everybody to feel welcome and loved.
Yes.
And so that would be the same for the bus driver. So when you have your own bus driver that
Yeah.
you're interacting with all the time, it's
Yeah.
a little bit different than taking one of the other buses where it's just somebody picking you up
It
at your
is.
house and you're never gonna get the same driver.
Yeah.
Because at Whitney Place, we had one bus driver.
Correct, it's gonna be a warm.
And, all the residents knew him and interacted with him,
Correct.
and it was a good
Right.
experience.
Yeah, we want people to feel just like they feel when they come in here, when they get on
Yeah.
the bus. We want people to feel loved and accepted, and that if they need anything, that they can have somebody that they can count on. So that's gonna be a very important process in the hiring.
Are we gonna be able to use the van to like when we went to dinner at Valley Tech? Are we gonna be able to use it for things like that?
So, I know like even the Sunshine Club would say, well, are they gonna be able to use it off hours? So those are bugs that still have to be worked out. It's getting it in motion, getting a schedule down, because it's very tedious to make a schedule for a bus.
Yes,
I have to think
yeah.
about people that are going to medical appointments
Right.
first.
Right.
That's first. We have to have one day a week to go shopping.
That's right.
We might have people coming back and forth to the senior center. So those three things is how the bus was
Okay.
solicited to the Board of Selectmen and to Capitol and
Yeah.
everything else. So that's what it will be first. Now, as far as that, yes, I would love to say, you know what, if you can drive, great, but if you can't and you're handicapped, then we will go and get you
Yeah.
and bring you. So,
Right.
you know what I mean? We only have 14 spaces on the bus.
Yeah, yeah.
So, but I would like to think, moving on down the line, that it's gonna be able to do
Good.
little things like that, like we're doing a fishing day at Wallem Lake.
Yeah.
That's a senior center program, but it's off-site. When we go to the high school for breakfast,
Right.
that's a senior center program that's off-site. See what I mean? So it's kind of gonna be a learning curve for all of us, because we've never scheduled a bus before.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out how you can do everything that you have to do in the allotted time that you have,
Yeah.
and making medical a priority.
Okay.
But, and then, if the Sunshine Club wanted to take a tour over the weekend or something like this, how would it work? Would they pay the driver? Does the driver get different pay because it's a differential? Do they pay for the guests? See what I mean? So I'm not really sure how that's gonna work yet, but we're willing to work with in anything, because
Oh, yeah.
it's the bus for the seniors, and I want every senior to be able to use it and feel safe and feel
I
comfortable.
just think it's such an asset,
Yeah.
not just for here.
Yes.
But for the whole
Whole town,
community,
for the whole
really.
town. Half of the people on this waiting list aren't even seniors that come in here.
And I think it's gonna draw people in.
Yes.
Because we're gonna have all those things to offer.
Right.
So it's really an asset. I'm so excited about it.
Yep, so we realize that they can get to the senior center now without having to drive.
Yeah.
Correct. Some people want to come down here, maybe they just can't, or maybe they don't have a vehicle, or maybe, Elder Bus, you have to call 48 hours in advance of a program, and you might have to be here for hours because they might be somewhere else.
And we have somebody from the exercise group that's
That's taking
using
the
that
bus.
van right
She
now.
is.
And, you know, when we're all done,
She
she
has
has
to
to go
wait.
sit outside and wait for them to
Yeah.
come pick her up
Right,
and.
yeah. Whereas we're gonna be so local that we're hoping to be able to, if somebody has an appointment in Milford for 2 hours, not a problem. It's 15 minutes away. Bus driver could come back, maybe do a couple of things like that, and then go back and pick up the person, or drop somebody in Northbridge, or drop, you know, so I mean, it's just like I said, it's gonna be a lot of chaos, I'm assuming. This is why I'm putting it out there now in the newsletter. If you're
Yeah.
planning on using the bus, where do you think you wanna go?
Right.
So that I know how many people out of the 2,400 seniors we have in town
Are gonna be using.
are thinking, is it gonna be the 45 or 50 I have on the list, plus about 10 that come in and out of here?
Yeah.
Or is it going to be 150? I don't know. And is it gonna be every month? I don't know how many people maybe have a dialysis they go to 3 times a week. I don't know. How many people go to radiation or chemo? I don't know. You know, how many people are gonna be able to say to their child, you don't have to take the day off from work today, because I could go on the bus.
And like the seniors who are on a blood thinner.
Yeah.
And they have to, you know, every so often, they have to go have their blood work done.
And you have to wait.
And if they don't drive,
Yes, of
it's
course.
a problem.
Yep, especially with home health services being as low as they are, you're not having as much of that intervention at home as we were before. They were drawing bloods at home, and they were doing things at home. And there is a shortage so badly
Yeah.
within
Yeah.
our healthcare, home care system, that more people are going to have to go out and about
Yes.
to do those things.
Yeah.
So, it's gonna be an asset all around, I think it's gonna be wonderful, and I think it's just gonna have to be a learning curve, and we'll be really patient, but after a couple of months, that too will succeed.
Yeah, yeah.
Exciting though.
Yeah, that is very exciting.
Okay.
I can remember when I took the bus.
What was
Hannaford.
Oh, the,
Pam,
cardboard boat
Waiting to
race.
come back
you guys think of doing that
24 hours.
cardboard
I had to
boat
sit
race
there
again?
at the
I know.
hospital, waiting
Oh, do
for
they
the-
still do that?
They did it last summer, and we're waiting to see, but we still have our boat.
Do you?
Yes, we do.
That was made right before the pandemic, right?
Yeah, right.
Yes.
That was,
So they did have another one last year, but we didn't find out about it in time to really get involved with it. And so,
We had the works going to have one here. I had met with, the forestry, Department
Yep.
of Forestry and all that, and we were gonna have one in town, and then that was squashed because COVID came.
for the departments.
So the department, we were
Yeah.
gonna do it with all the department heads. So that would maybe be a fun thing to think about,
Yeah.
moving forward.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would.
It's kind of like those little race cars that the Boy Scouts do, right? Who can build a better boat? The fire department, the police department.
That's right.
I'd rather see it within the town.
I don't know, Nick does pretty nice, gingerbread houses.
Yes.
Yeah.
If we
he,
told,
like,
if we
topped
told
us
the
all.
police chief that we were doing a cardboard boat race in 5 years, he would be working on it now.
So you don't tell him till the last.
Yeah.
Right.
He'd have all his decals and his stickers, and probably have a spot for Finn. Yeah.
Yeah.
because I think you
Sorry, I
have
missed
to-
that.
you know, if you're thinking about doing that again this year and try to do it locally, that would have to get announced pretty soon, because it does take a long time to plan it. And yet people register, you know, the Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts,
Right,
Cub
right.
Scouts, whoever wants, or a family wants to build a boat. But it takes time, so you really gotta start thinking about that now for this summer.
Right. Now, probably for like August.
Yeah, the end of the summer, yeah.
You know. I think it'll be fun.
That would be fun.
Okay.
All right, so the next meeting date.
I put my pen away. I fold.
Can you do April 19th, because we have a lot of stuff in there.
Yeah, I can't do the 12th.
Okay, so then April 19th?
April 19th work?
It's Wednesday. At 9 o'clock. It used to be Tuesday.
Yeah, it's not mine.
So the next meeting is April 19th at 9 a.m.
Before,
Yes.
just before we adjourn, I have a question.
Sure.
Are we ever gonna be able to afford to have Mike Slater back here? The Elvis.
Elvis? Oh, we could have like that.
Really,
Yeah.
I mean,
He was
I'm
good.
on his Facebook page,
Yeah, yeah.
and he just does remarkable things for the seniors. He
Yeah.
really does.
Yes.
Put that in your memory
I will
bank.
put that in my memory bank, which means somebody's gonna have to remind me. Write it down, Jan.
Okay.
All right, so the next meeting date is?
April 19th at 9 AM.
Can we get a motion to?
And a motion to adjourn?
So make a motion.
You want to second it?
Second.
Thank you.